Welcome everyone to the season finale of the RACKS and Rod podcast. Today I have Ryan with me. Ryan's part of EAO. He's a team member, a great member. He's like me. He's been hunting and fishing in the Pennsylvania area his whole life, but his specialty is flintlocks and black powder. If you want to know anything about black powder and flintlocks, you talk to this guy.
Oh yeah, everything you want: smooth bores, Fowlers, rifles, modern guns, modern inlines. I know a lot about a lot of them.
Fowlers. What's a Fowler?
Fowler, that's a smooth bore gun. They were traditionally carried like a Northwest trade gun by the fur trappers, and that's what they'd trade with the Indians. So you could load a round ball or a shot load, or what they would call bucking ball, where it was a round ball with a few buckshot pellets behind it.
Okay, so you see like that kind of now. That's like a more modern self-defense now. I see the buckshot behind that is just like a slug or something. Now you see like a war like that now.
Like the
modern.
What's it? The Winchester makes those.
Oh yeah,
ones
the Defenders.
now,
So yeah, for sure.
Or the Hornady critical defenses are like.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So that came from like a ancient Indians used to use that. But Indians used to use that for hunting purposes.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting. One thing I did find fascinating about flintlocks and black powder, since we're on the topic, is when back in the day they used to shoot squirrels with 50 cals, but they didn't actually shoot the squirrels or the small game. They barked them.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. Like, that's pretty neat. Like, you actually hit the limb underneath them, and that shrapnel of debris would actually kill the squirrels itself. If you want to hit it with a 50 cal, you hit a squirrel with a 50 cal, it's just getting blown to pieces.
Oh yeah, 50 cal round ball. I mean, it does numbers on whitetails.
Yeah. I mean, so like you would bark it. They call it bark it, and the shrapnel would kill the animal itself, which is pretty cool, which is pretty neat. So, but yeah, he knows a lot about flintlock and lines. I think flintlock is a fascinating thing. I hope to one day get into it. It's a lot to get into. It's a lot of equipment, a lot of cleaning. Black powder is super dirty and corrosive. But I think it'd be cool to take a deer with a flintlock and even go a step farther, take a deer with a flintlock pistol.
Oh yeah, that's something I've been wanting to do is get a flintlock pistol, even if it was one of the traditions kits at first.
Yeah.
Do something like that with one, but then custom build my own. Like I have a barrel and a stock blank sitting at home just waiting for parts to build the rest of it, to build my own custom one, because everyone says once you get into it and you hunt with like a traditions deer hunter or an old Thompson Center Firestorm or Renegade, at first you're like, man, this is great, but everyone that I've talked to and know that's big into flintlocks now, they've all gone to custom guns by custom builders. Yeah. Because you can get it made to where you can have one that's that tall.
Well, like a Pennsylvania, like the Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah, like a long rifle.
Yeah.
They all end up with long rifles.
Because the Pennsylvania ones were the real long ones, and the Kentucky ones were the short ones, correct?
Kinda. They were both generally the same size, but it was all the builder style. Like they called it schools back in the day. And you'd have there was schools right in Emmitsburg, and there was some actually, I think Heidlersburg. I found an old note that there was a gun builder in Heidlersburg.
That's pretty cool. So the Kentucky rifles, there was Kentucky rifles. Where were all the rifles back then? There was a Kentucky rifle.
Yeah, the Pennsylvania
rifle.
Pennsylvania, Kentucky. You had I've heard Tennessee Valley rifles. There's rifles all up and down.
Okay. Now in PA, what's the minimum caliber you can use? Like for a pistol, you have to be was it 44?
45.
45, yeah. So you see a lot of 36 caliber, but unfortunately you cannot use that for big game, so you're stuck at 45 caliber for big game. Has anyone in the chat ever used a traditional flintlock back in the day? And have you ever taken a deer with it or anything like that? I think it's super cool. It's not easy. There's a lot of things that could go wrong when you're flintlock hunting. You gotta keep your powder dry. It's the muzzle flash really spooks a lot of people. I mean, it's not an easy feat. Taking a deer with a muzzleloader it's pretty challenging. How many are you taking with a flintlock?
You'd be surprised. Zilch with a flintlock.
It's not easy. And plus, the man does know the black powder. And he's a very knowledgeable on black powder. He's a big flintlock person. I know the basics of it, and to get you started, I can point you in the right direction, but he really breaks it down and knows what he's talking about. But the problem with flintlock, I think the state of PA has it backwards. We should have the flintlock season first, and then have the inline season last.
Yeah, I see that's the big challenge that people are pushing now is they want, I think it was the PA Federation of Black Powder Shooters were pushing to have a 2-week early flintlock season in concurrent with the inline season, the way I understood it, but I'd have to read it again because I know it's like a big to-do. They're trying to get like a bill or something pushed to the game commission about it and everything.
Yeah, it's like, why do you take the hardest form of hunting? Like, in Maryland does the same thing. It's a tradition hunt, they call it. It's all in late season, like your longbows and your recurve. It's all in late season after the deer already been spooked, been shot at. So it's super hard to hunt it already. And you put that in the late season when you're using the hardest equipment you can out there. You know, you use the most traditional stuff. I think it's backwards. I think if we should have an early season, we should start using our flintlocks and your longbows and your recurve bows first, not the other way around.
Yeah, West Virginia is the same way too. They have the West Virginia Heritage Season. That's the same as like Maryland's.
It's all
Heritage.
late. It's late.
Yep.
That doesn't make sense to me. Like, don't you guys agree? Like, you think that the tradition season should come first because it's the hardest season. The best chance you get is like in their early season, like kind of with bow. Hence why bow is how many weeks long a season, and rifle's only 2 weeks long. I agree. Ryan knows all things black powder. See, everyone knows Ryan. Ryan. You know he knows black powder. He loves black powder. But yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. Why would you have your flintlock season last? It never made sense to me why you do that way. And
I know people out here the argument all the time is, well, if you don't want to hunt with a modern rifle, just use your flintlock.
But then why do we have an inline season then?
Right.
I mean, I guess you could use your flintlock in inline season, but then why have a separate? Yeah, it doesn't make. I think it's backwards. I think you should have a late inline season and have an early flintlock season or something like that, or an early tradition season where you have your longbows and your recurves and your flintlocks, and save the inlines for late season. That's just my opinion, but you know how opinions are. They're like assholes. Everyone has one and they stink.
Oh yeah.
So you never shot a deer. So how many flintlocks do you own? How many flintlocks do you own?
One time I had 6.
6.
I sold a lot of them because I got out of it for a while when my oldest was born, and I didn't black powder. I didn't hunt hardly at all for a long time, but now I'm slowly getting back to getting a few more. Like I have a Thompson Center Renegade right now, and they're hard to find, but I did hear in the rumor mill that Thompson Center is going to start cranking them out again.
They are. So Thompson Center is coming back in business now. We start getting stuff at the shop. We got a contender barrel and everything the other day.
Yeah.
So we got a contender barrel. So the Thompson Center is slowly starting to make things again, which is awesome because that's. I mean, if you want a good flintlock, you're going to Thompson Center.
I didn't know it until I think it was like around this time last year. I was listening to an interview that they did with Greg Ritz, the guy that owns Thompson Center again. He actually grew up like right across from Liberty Reservoir.
Really?
Yeah, he's from that Baltimore, Carroll County, Howard County area.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty. I didn't know that. I didn't know that either. Speaking of black powder and getting back in business, so we got traditions. Well, GoX was another one. So GoX went out of business there because the plant blew up. So if you don't know who so if you don't know who GoX is, what GoX is a black powder company. They specialize in like 4F and 3F and 2F black powder. I'll have Ryan explain that in a little bit what that means. They manufactured black powder. It blew up. So they stopped manufacturing for a couple of years. I forget how long it was. This past year, someone bought them. I forget who it was. Bought the plant and started making black powder again. Made it for a couple months, and the plant blew up again. So at this point, I think you should just call it.
Yeah,
done. Just stop.
GoX was great for a long time, and then, but even now, I talk to a lot of guys that there's at Fort Chambers up near Scotland. They even said he's like, I was a GoX guy for years, and everyone's like, now he's like, I'd rather shoot Swiss or shoot some powder.
So,
and
I literally had a guy come in the other day and say the same thing. Like really, I mean, GoX had such a great name for themselves. Back 5, 6, 7 years ago, everyone used GoX, and now we carry Schutzen at work at WSLs, and everyone loves that Schutzen brand now.
Yeah, Schutzen's in my opinion, it's a better powder brand between them and Swiss powder. Those are the two best I'd found. Now, there's one I'd heard that the traditional guys like a lot. It's Old Eynsford, but I don't even know if you can find that anymore.
I never heard that Schutzen. Yeah, we carry Schutzen and GoX, and so now the Schutzen, it's like a little bit more, maybe $1 more per pound or something like that, maybe $1 less. I don't know, but everyone likes the Schütze now instead
Yeah.
of the GoX, which is kind of hard to believe because GoX was such a huge black powder maker in the day, and everyone used to love them. But either something changed in the formula, or they can't get something right anymore, and people aren't in it anymore. So we're talking about black powder. So what's 2F, 3F, and 4F? So what's that mean?
2F, it's all the F sizes is all like the granules of how big the powder is. Like 2F is kind of chunky powder, which is mostly what a lot of guys use for rifles, shotguns. And 3F, a lot of guys use 3F all around. Like you can use 3F in a rifle, a Fowler shotgun, a black powder shotgun, or even the black powder pistols. 4F is flash pan powder. That's real fine grain. If you put it into a rifle barrel, I'm sure it's been done, but I was always told it turns things into a pipe bomb, so I never ventured down that road to see if it would blow one up.
Is that because it burns so quick, it's so fine, or what?
Yeah.
So and pressure builds up too fast, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it just makes a lot of barrel pressure.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What you mean? You look at a flintlock. It must take a lot to blow a flintlock barrel because they're super thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because it's a lot of pressure, behind a flintlock. You're using black powder and ignites. So 3F, 4F. If I'm shooting a flintlock, I'm throwing that in the barrel first and throwing my bullet behind it, in front of that, and then I'm putting 4F in the powder, in the pan.
Yep.
In the pan.
Yeah, I always shoot round ball. Like I decided I had a Traditions deer hunter where you could shoot the sabots and the powder pellets, and I was like, it works, but
I don't understand that. Why, if you're going to use a tradition flintlock, use it traditionally. If not, you get an inline.
yeah.
And like if you're going to use a traditional flintlock, get a traditional. I guess I don't know. That's my opinion. Once again, that if I'm going to get a flintlock, I'm going to use it traditionally. I'm not going to use a sabot or anything like that. I'm just going to use a super round ball and patch.
Yeah.
And then use the powder.
The only other thing I've differed from was shooting round balls. I'll shoot Hornady makes them. They call them the PA conical.
Yeah, the conicals. Yeah.
Yeah, those work great.
But really, all that is a hunk of lead with a point on one end of it. The conicals, is that what it is?
Pretty much. It looks almost like a Foster style shotgun slug,
Okay.
like a rifled slug.
Yeah,
it's kind of cupped in the back.
Yep. Okay. And it probably improves your accuracy a little bit. Instead of just tumbling through the air, a round ball does a little bit.
Yeah.
You get a little bit more accuracy with that.
And then like your barrel twist rates too, like the twist rate of the rifling. There's like a 1 in 66.
Yeah. So let's break that down. So that's probably a lot of people don't understand that. Even with modern day rifles, rifling is still a huge thing. Your twist.
Yeah.
So you know more about twist here. Let's talk about twist. What's the twist mean, and how does it affect the bullet, and when a faster twist is better than a slower twist?
It's the faster. What I was always told was the faster twist rate was meant for like your modern muzzleloaders, like when you're shooting the power belts or saboted bullets, and then I think that's like 1 in 48 twist. You can shoot either one.
Okay.
Like patched round ball or the conical, but like 1 in 66 twist. It's such a slow twist rate.
Yeah.
That's a round ball gun.
So what that means is for every 66 inches,
It
it's
turns
one twist.
one time. Yeah.
Okay. Now it also matters, I thought, the grain as well. If you use a heavier bullet compared to a lighter bullet, this twist matters as well. Correct?
Yeah, it's from what I understood, that's to an extent from the older guys I've talked to.
Yeah. So if I'm shooting a round ball, I want a slower twist or a faster twist.
It's always a slower for the round ball.
Now,
because it takes a little more time to stabilize that heavy thing.
Okay, that makes sense. So, yeah, see, we're learning here. What type or brand of rifle or equipment would you recommend for a beginner wanting to get back into black powder hunting?
To get back into black powder hunting?
Do you have any equipment at all? Do you have anything left over, or are you starting fresh, brand new? And are we talking about traditional black powder? You want to use a ball, round and ball, and powder? But
like I would say, if you're gonna start out fresh in the game and you've never, like if you're, I'll say just flintlock for right now, flintlock or the cap lock style guns. If you're out west or Maryland, you can use them. Flintlock or a traditional cap lock. Best bet I'd say to start out if you don't want to spend a lot of money is get one of the Traditions guns, or if you can find an older like CVA when they still made them. You can pick up, I think, what's a deer hunter go for now?
Oh, well, they have
They're the PA pellets.
Yeah, they actually make a whole kit now.
Yeah, you could one of those starter kits.
Yeah, it's a
those
great
are
kit.
Great.
Yeah, we had one at work there. I think it was last year. It was actually a whole starter kit you can get. Traditions, right? What's Traditions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a whole black powder kit. It was a black powder rifle. It had your round ball, your patches, your cleaning solution, your cleaning rods, everything like that. The only thing they didn't have was black powder, which is awesome, which is nice. And we also sell, you can also get whole kits without the rifle. So like we sell kits that have like all the cleaning solutions, all your ramrods, your priming powder, your powder charges, your powder measuring charges, and all that kind of stuff as well. Which that kit was great. It was a Traditions kit. I'm trying to think how much it was. It wasn't that bad of a price either.
I think it was right around $400 or $500.
I think it was $450, $500. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. $450. Like, so you can get a nice Traditions kit, and it had your powder measures. It had your patches. It had your cleaning patches. It had a solution with it. It had literally a flint and everything like that with it. You just need to get your powder, which runs about $36.99, $38 around there. That's what we sell it at. And
that's
a pound.
That's the 1 pound keg, isn't it?
Yeah, a 1 pound can of 4F will last you a lifetime, you know.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Like I bought, I still have I think it's the second ever bottle I ever bought, because the first one I bought, I sold it with all my stuff when I sold it, but I still have this, and I bought it at Sells.
Yeah.
I still have the same tub of 4F powder from, like, I know older guys that there's some of them, they still have the 4F in the tin cans.
Tin cans, yep. And as long as you keep it dry, it lasts you forever. You just got to keep it dry. Some people say that it loses potency, but I always, what I read and stuff like that, as long as you keep it dry, it's the same regardless.
Yeah.
I just sort of like if it ages, something about it. But that's only when it seems like it gets too much moisture in it, it starts to oxidize, I guess we'd call it.
I've never heard of, like, I've heard that with black powder, but I know like reloading powders for like modern smokeless, if that stuff gets old, it can get nasty.
Yeah, because that oxidizes, I think.
Yeah,
so that gets like really like actually chemically reacts, get some pretty nasty chemicals in there. Yeah, I heard stuff like that before. There was something else I wanted to take about the biggest thing and probably the most annoying thing about black powder. The cleaning, yes.
My wife yells at me every time when I start sitting at the kitchen table cleaning any of my black powder guns.
It's so nasty.
She's
stuff.
like, it smells like rotten ass in here.
Yeah, because it's you need such a strong cleaner.
Yeah.
Because you can't let that stuff sit in your barrel at all. It will just erode that metal in like no time. That stuff is nasty stuff.
And there's a couple different ways to do it. Like I've seen guys where they'll fill their sink up with hot water.
Yeah, I was gonna say hot water. So always hear about that story about the hot water.
Dawn dish soap and hot soapy water, and you just stick the back end of the gun where your touch hole would be in there. And I've always used Ballistol.
Okay.
And it does a pretty good job.
Which is kind of weird because they use all these solutions for this black powder, and everyone uses this Dawn and hot water, and they just really just run it through the barrel. And that's all they use. It's like that, and they dry it out and everything like that, and it's good to go. But yeah, you don't ever want to keep your black powder after you shoot it. You want to get rid of all that residue because black powder is some nasty stuff. And I even heard like people now with the pellets, a lot of people are having problems with them going off or having a good burn with them, so they'll put 4F behind that now too as well, or is it 3F?
It's 2 and 3F is always in the barrel.
So
I've heard of that too, where the 4F won't set the powder pellets off.
So I'm saying like new modern like inline, the 209 primers aren't getting a good burn from the pellets, from the black powder pellets, so they're putting like 3F behind that so that the primer hits that too as well, and it gets a good burn.
That's even my modern inline. I still don't shoot the powder pellets anymore. I use Blackhorn 209.
Yeah, you get that. So what we're talking about here is new modern inlines have their fire mechanism is a 209 primer instead of black powder. And what that 209 primer does, it lights a black powder pellet, which is like a smushed down pellet, and they come in like 40 grains, 50 grains, 60 grains, 30 grains, and you put them in your barrel and put a bullet in front of that. What people are doing is they're having problems with their 209 powder burning hot enough to get a good burn when it lights their pellets. They're putting black powder behind that, or like Ryan uses, you can get 209 loose powder,
where it's a black powder substitute.
Yeah, so you can use that instead of which possibly it burns better, which makes sense to me. I can't see something compressed like that burning as well as something that's loose powder inside there. I mean, you do compress it down, but like really, really compressed. You know, you do with anything. Think about if you ever start a fire, you compress anything real tight. It takes a while for it to really get off. You know, and burns.
I know they sell like what's it? The 777 was like the Winchester. I think made those primers. I've always went out and got actual like shotgun reloading primers.
There's a difference between them. I'm trying to think what it is. Does the shotgun primers or does the black powder variant burn hotter? One burns hotter than the other one. There is a difference, actually, believe it or not.
Oh, I never knew there was a difference.
Yeah,
I just went and bought 209 primers, and here we go.
Does anyone know the difference between the two? I'm pretty sure. I'm 100% sure there's a difference in chat. The difference between a shotgun 209 primer is different from a 209 primer for inlines. I'm pretty sure there is. Because Remington Clean Bore makes one, and then the 777 Winchester makes one. The two most popular selling ones. And then there's, oh my gosh, there's
CCI makes the muzzleloader ones.
Yeah, like
I think Federal's got some.
Federal has them. Remington makes them. Winchester makes a 209 shotgun primer. There's tons of 209 shotgun primers out there, but there's only a few popular 209 black powder ones. And I'm pretty sure it's the difference between a 209 black powder primer and a shotgun primer. So Dio's gonna look that up for us right now. I'm pretty sure there is.
Yeah, it's like I was getting back to what they asked earlier. And they're starting out the PA pellet's a good way to start.
209 black powder versus 209 shotgun primer. 209 shotgun primer. Yeah. So there's a difference, I'm pretty sure. One burns hotter than the other. I'm pretty sure about it. So yes, there is a difference between the two of them. So the black powder is hotter than the shotgun one, and it's very consistent spark, high pressure blast.
Yeah.
Compared to the 209, which is between the 209 shotgun, which isn't as hot. So I thought so. I thought there was a difference. There is a difference. So the shotgun powder doesn't burn as hot as the black powder ones, which I knew one was different from the other one, some way, some form. But you could technically use both of them.
Yeah, that's like I use.
Which I don't know. I don't think it'd be a good idea to use a 209 black powder primer and a shotgun primer if it burns hotter and it's more like a bang to it. Start off fresh. Get to that question already. Yeah, I think if you put a shotgun primer, black powder primer in a shotgun shell, it might be a little too hot. It might be too much pressure than the normal shotgun. Oh no, I've never gotten to reloading. You ever do reloading?
I want to start reloading a little bit because I have a 270 in my 308. I'd like to reload for rifle season.
Once again, it's one of those things that like it's so much upfront cost. Like black powder hunting, it's so much upfront cost just to get started going. Like with reloading, there's so much you got to buy before you start and do it the right way and stuff like that. And
that's like I was saying. I think that the muzzleloader kits are a great way to get into it and start.
Oh yeah,
you spend that, you have basically everything to learn. All you need right there, and then you decide, hey, I want to, upgrade. Then you can look at custom builders. Like there was a guy that used to live here local. I think he lives up in Juniata County now. His name's Brian Kaufman.
Okay.
And he has a whole YouTube thing and builds flintlock guns and does like all flintlock hunting. And there's another guy, Adam Daub, down in Elkton, Maryland. He's really good and builds guns and does a lot of hunting with them.
So, to me, it's kind of hard to think about like building your own flintlock because in my mind, there's only so much you can do to a flintlock. So what can you customize to a flintlock that makes it makes it a better reason why to make your own instead of buying one already put together?
You can get them custom fitted the way you want. A lot of people, it's a historical value. They want something that looks like an old German Jaeger rifle or an old PA long rifle or Kentucky long rifle. It's the historical thing, and then there's different styles of them, and some people like having a longer gun, shorter gun. In custom guns, you can get the barrels where they have either a straight octagon barrel or a straight to, or they call it octagon to round, which that's big with smoothbore guns
So
and Fowlers.
what do you mean by octagon to round? So
like it'll go on the barrel, it'll be the octagon shape, and then towards the back end, it'll just be a straight round barrel.
What would be the benefit of that?
I've never known the difference.
I can't really see anything besides maybe, I don't know. I really don't know the benefit to that. I can't think.
Now, the ones I like are what they call a swamp barrel.
Okay.
Where they're heavier at the front and the back, and they thin out in the middle.
Okay.
And they make it to where you can, if you get one set up right, you can kind of put your hand right where the thin part is and set the gun on your hand.
Okay.
And it'll balance right like that. Because they're always, muzzleloaders like that are always nose heavy.
Oh my gosh, yeah. You got that barrel so thick and they're so long, you're always all the way forward all the time. Yeah. Yeah. So we have a question here. What's the process look like for unloading a black powder rifle if it's not fired? Fire it.
Shoot it. Yeah. Shoot it.
Just shoot it. Like,
now you can
get a bullet puller.
Yeah, you can do it to where, like, if you say you get one at a sale or you thought you shot it off and it's still loaded.
Yeah.
Well, the powder's old and crispy now in the barrel, and it might not go off. You can get a bullet puller and pull the ball out. I've done that a few times.
And it looks like just like a spiral piece. And you just stick your rod in there and turn it, and it grabs that hold that lead ball, and you just pull it right out.
Now, I've done it with a drywall screw too.
So there you go.
We took a drywall screw and kind of JB welded or did something to a metal rod and ran it in with a drill, and then pulled the ball back out.
That makes sense. So the easiest way of doing it is just firing it. It's probably the safest way as well. It's just to fire it if you could do it. If not, unload your pan. I would even take a flint out. Just be safe.
Yeah.
And then, put the rod down there with the bullet puller, give it a few twists to get into that ball, and pull it out and empty your powder out. So, speaking of flints, there's a lot of, I'm not up to date with, this is one area I'm not good with. Different style of flints and different types of flints. And there's pretty dramatic differences between them.
Yeah, like I like old English, or what they call English flints, where they're actual flint stone.
Okay.
They're kind of hard to get a hold of sometimes.
I think okay. Now, napped or not napped?
The nap flints. The
Why?
agate water cut saw flints, they're the real nice, pretty square ones. They chip off way too fast. The regular flints, the English flints, to me, last longer. You get a better spark off your frizzing.
Okay, and like there's English ones. There's like all different.
There's English flints, shirt flints,
yeah.
And then the agates are the real pretty stone cut ones.
And they're the ones that probably most prominently available.
Yeah,
is the agate flints.
I mean, they work. I used them for a long time, and then the guys at the black powder shop in Chambersburg, they turned me on to the English flints when I started getting more into it.
Mm-hmm. Just a better spark.
Yeah, better spark off the pan. And you got to make sure you have a good frizzing too, a good hardened frizzing, because it works just like a flint and steel starting to fire. If you got soft steel, it's not going to make a good spark.
So people who don't understand what a frizzing is.
Yeah, when a frizzing is like when you look at a flintlock, you have your hammer that holds the flint, your pan's the little tray that the flash powder goes in, and then what makes the spark is the frizzing. That's the piece that when the hammer comes down, hits it acts just like a flint and steel and throws a spark off of it, and that's what ignites your pan powder, and then it goes in the barrel and it goes boom.
Yeah.
Or they call them the flinch locks because of that.
That's one thing I don't think I ever shot a flintlock. Maybe years ago I shot one when I was a kid. I think I did one of the youth field days, shot a flintlock.
Yeah.
But that's like the biggest thing is why probably by 90% of people miss deer is that initial
the flinch,
the flash, because you have all this black powder in your pan, and that just goes.
Off, it's going off that far away from your face. Yeah.
So you all hear is just and a big flash of smoke comes up, and there's a delay. It's probably a good 3-second delay.
It depends. If you have a good lock, your good lock's good and timed. It's like it's almost right away, but sometimes you have delays.
And that's when people mess up because they move or they flinch, and that just throws off your shot. It takes a while
to get over it.
Oh yeah, because you have a little you really have a fire. I mean, that far from your face, and you see smoke flying up. So it's something hard to get used to. That's one probably the biggest reason and probably the hardest thing to get used to. Flintlock shooting, I think. I mean, that's pretty easy to say. That's probably the hardest Hardest variable
is getting over the flinch. That's what I've told everyone that's asked me about it, is getting over the flinch. But once you get over that, it's no different than shooting an iron-sighted rifle.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them have they have fiber optic sights.
The modern ones do.
Yeah.
The older ones, it's usually a small. There's the different styles of like the rear sights, which you can get them on modern guns too.
Yeah.
You know, semi buckhorns or the full buckhorns. There's all different designs, but it's the same general thing. Most of the time, they have a bladed front sight that's like the brass blade, so you can see.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and you can't. There's no a lot of places you can't put scopes on them or like that. You know.
Yeah, I think PA you're allowed to have peep sights on them, but
there's nothing.
Almost everyone is. They don't
sights,
even open sighted, no peep sights on them. I've seen it. I've seen old flintlocks, like the Thompson centers, where people will drill and tap them for scopes. And I'm like, what the hell?
I can't. Cause think about it. You put a scope on that thing, and that pan goes off. Like that's right next to the scope.
Oh, it burns the paint right off the side of them every time.
I bet. I can't be. I mean, I do it just to see what it looked like and just to shoot one like that.
I've seen a lot of guys when muzzleloader hunting first started really getting big, like I think it was like the late 60s, early 70s, guys were putting scopes on the old CVA and Thompson Center cap locks. They look ridiculous, and it's like you look every single one of them right where either the barrel is, the barrel and tumbler is for a cap lock.
Yeah.
There's always a burn spot on the side of the scope.
I bet, because I mean, even though it's just a little bit of powder, it burns hot and burns quick.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want my hand near there at all. It's just no, not at all.
Not at all.
And you shoot 100 grains?
I shoot my gun like 70 grains of 2F.
Really? I see like a lot popular around here is 100.
Yeah, I always was told I started at 60 grains, and then you kind of go up in 5 grain up or back in 5 grain increments until you figure out, like, because I've seen guys that I'm shooting 100 grains and they couldn't hit an elephant in the ass with a snow shovel with their loadout. But then you change how many grains you put in, or sometimes the ball size.
Yeah. And
you can tighten it up, because sometimes more powder might open it up, and a little less will tighten your group.
Yeah, makes sense. Like, so what you said about ball size, when we say a 50 cal ball, there's different sizes to 50 cal balls. Like there's a .495,
495, 490, and I can't remember the other one offhand.
And then what you do to make up for that what's that, 100th of an inch
is the patch.
You can use a 100th of a patch or a 1500th of a patch. So you get different size patches to make up for that little bit of ball room in there, which you get that tight fit to get the full pressure behind that ball when it comes out of the barrel. And prelude or not prelude patches?
You can use pre-lubed, or like I know a lot of the guys that do the traditional dress and go to shoots, they'll actually carry a roll of, they call it pillow ticking, which you can get that at Walmart in the fabric section.
Okay.
And they'll carry it in a roll, kind of close to the size that you would see like the patches in the store.
Okay.
And they'll have they call them a speed block, but it's just a little block you can put your balls in.
Yeah.
And they'll actually like wet the patch, called a spit patch. They'll wet it in their mouth, put it over the end of the barrel, start the ball, and then just cut it off with a knife, and that's your patch. Or you can buy the pre-cut patches. They all do the same thing. I mean, a pre-lube patch works good, or even a spit patch does the same thing. It helps just slide down the barrel.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, I guess, and you buy dry patches and use your own lube.
Yeah,
I've seen guys. Some guys get really into it. That they actually have this. They're so used to their own lube and stuff like that. That's what they want to keep using. They don't want to change anything because
bear grease.
Yeah, any little variable, can change how your gun shoots altogether.
Yeah,
like your gun's used to using this kind of stuff. It's not changing. If you change one little, even from like the 100th of an inch ball, can throw your target way off.
Yeah, it's just like shooting modern center fire guns. You could go from, okay, well, my gun likes Hornady Superformance, but I could only find Winchester.
Yeah.
And it goes from I'm shooting dimes at 1,000 yards to I shot and I hit the neighbor lady's cat off the fence post.
And back in the day, when ammo was more readily available, when people did like a lot of competitions, they would actually buy the whole batch. And there's a batch number on each ammo box, and if you found an ammo that was really good, you go back to the store that day and buy every batch they had.
Buy it by the case.
Because even batches can vary because they stop and they change things and re-put things back together, and that little bit of change can really.
Like one machine could load the shell just a little different than the other.
And that's why a lot of people like to do their own reloading because
you can have consistency
and precision, down to the grain and everything like that. And you can really get into it, and especially if you're in a competition shooting. But we are at minute 30. So while we're at minute 30, today's sponsor, we got Floofy Baits today.
Yeah, not fluffy.
Yeah, not fluffy, floofy. And these are made here locally, made in America, veteran owned. Check him out. He's here, lives in Dover area. Great baits. He has all different kinds. He's on Amazon, Walmart. We carry him locally at the store at WSL Sporting Goods. Check him out. Make some great baits, some great bass baits. His smallmouth baits are one of a kind. They are great. Definitely check them out. Local made, veteran owned, floofy. Not fluffy, floofy. So, sometime today, the remaining of the podcast, I will say floofy, and first person comment in the chat wins 4 packs of baits. So, stay tuned for that. So we're talking about black powder. Well, okay. So you've been hunting your whole life,
right?
What's your favorite thing to hunt?
Whitetails.
Whitetails. Okay.
Whitetails and black bear.
Black bear. How many black bear you shot?
Not one. I've had a few close calls with them, but I like the territory you hunt black bears in. Northern Pennsylvania or middle southern West Virginia, where you get in around the old strip mines and places like that.
See, I never hunted West Virginia. Brady said he loves black powder. We'll have to get out shooting sometime, Brady. Mr. All right, so my first encounter with black bear, we hunted Perry County most of my life, and down here locally, we didn't get bears up there probably till about, maybe we got this one, maybe probably 15 years ago is when we start seeing bear up there.
Yeah, I know. The first time I really got into black bear hunting was, I had friends that always said they wanted to go, and I had a friend that went one year to Renova and said, I didn't see anything, I'm not going again. I went the following year, I didn't see anything. Of course, I had not a clue what I was doing, kind of went up on my own, and then I went with an old boss of mine and his son outside of Pottersdale and Carthus, and that's just about to the, like, what they call the PA Wilds and Benezet, where all the elk are. And me and his son had set up probably 300-400 yards apart, and I went in a climber, and he was in, I'm not kidding you, I'm all for redneckery, but this stand looks like they stole a storm drain grate out of the ground, put it inside the crotch of a tree, and spray painted an aluminum ladder camo, and that's what he hunted out of.
That's ingenuity. All right, Jennifer Smith. Yo, can you make that a little bigger? My eyes are awful. Can you read that, Ryan?
No. No, I'm half blind.
There was... Perfect. Scroll down. Yeah, perfect. There was a moose close to my place. You want to come get it? Hell yeah.
Oh, that's my mom. They live in upstate New York around Potsdam, not too far from Tupper Lakes, the big area up there.
There's moose up there?
She sent me a picture of it. I'd have to find it, but it was a small bull moose. They were going somewhere the one time. And
that's awesome. And what part of New York you said it was?
Potsdam.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You want to talk about turkey hunting, though? That's the place to turkey hunt. The way we see deer in fields down here in the fall, they see turkey in the spring up there, like in herds and flocks.
We've seen a lot more turkey in the area too. We're seeing a lot more in the area. What's up, Bailey? But so bear hunting. I never did bear hunting. I always thought about doing bear hunting. It's just, I don't know.
I want to go down to southern West Virginia where they tree them with hounds.
Hounds, yeah. I seen do that. Western Maryland holds some pretty big bear. I've been seeing some big bear coming out of Western Maryland.
Garrett County.
Yeah, they
Oakland,
hold monster bear down there. And my thing with bear hunting is, man, this is probably going to stir some people up, is I don't understand the point of shooting a cub.
I don't get shooting the cubs either, but
I'm not trying.
their own.
I'm not trying to trophy shame or anything like that. Like, if it's your trophy, congrats. Me.
Yeah.
Like, listen. Like, there's a story behind it. Yeah, it's all you. But like, man, my take on it was, if I'm bear hunting and I see a cub, I'm probably gonna go home without a bear.
Yeah, I mean, we get on my cousin Nick, his dad. We get on him because he has a bear mounted in their living room. His dad.
Nick Smith?
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait to. I'm gonna talk to him about it.
Yes, his dad Dwayne has this black bear mounted in there, and we used to mess with him all the time and tell him he got a black lab mounted on the wall, and he'd get all stirred up about it.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm gonna text him after here, and then I'm gonna bust his balls for that one. But yeah, I mean, hey, maybe there's a story behind it. Maybe you've been hunting bears your whole life, and this is the only time you saw a bear. I don't know. It's maybe, I'm not gonna trophy shame here. To each their own. But I don't know. I agree, Carrie. I agree. Carrie Deal said no cubs. Hey, it is what it is. I'm not gonna trophy shame here.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion. You know, we talked about opinions here before. You know,
I know in like PA, I know a lot of people. I've seen cubs at the check stations, and I've seen 500 and 600 pounders come in. But
I think more PA because it's such a newer.
I think they said the average bear is between 150 to 250 pounds is about average.
We're seeing. I'm trying to think how to say this. Bear hunting's been around PA forever, but we're seeing a lot more newer areas that bear are coming to, and people are getting more into bear hunting. I feel like now.
Yeah.
So that's when people are getting. You know, it's a feat, 100%. Like, congrats, if you shoot a bear, that's not an easy task. You know, especially in PA. You know, down here where we're at. So I think a lot of people are just maybe doing it for the wrong reasons. That, you know, say, oh, we find a guy bear, or maybe, like I said, that's a whole different topic to get into. We're not going to get into that. But so you used to bear hunt a lot, or you ventured in bear hunting here and there, or dabbed around in it?
I used to go religiously every year, but last 6-7 years, it's been hard to get away to go upstate and things like that.
Yeah, I just learned this about a couple years ago. Bear like the nastiest stuff to sit in. Like,
if you can find the thickest buck laurel and rhododendron bushes on the mountain, and the thicker the better, because they can hide. That's
so weird. You think a bear like something like that would just roam? They ain't much that's gonna mess with a bear.
No.
I guess understand a deer or something like rabbits like that hiding thick stuff. Hiding from predators. What's a bear hiding from? Maybe like the peace and quiet. Maybe, I don't know, but like when I start really getting into, understanding bear hunting and stuff like that, a lot of people put drives on to get them pushed out of that thick and nasty stuff, because they're just sitting there, in that thick stuff, and you can be 20 yards away from them and you never see them.
Yeah,
and that's just crazy that a bear would sit in that kind of thick stuff, because not much is going after a bear around here in PA.
No, not too much.
I mean, people. That's about it.
People and.
The
other bear.
Yeah.
The elusive Pennsylvania mountain lion.
Yeah, mountain lion, Sasquatch. Probably Sasquatch.
That's what it is.
Yes, Dave, that's Sasquatch. That's Dave Sasquatch. But there was a video I just watched the other day. 2 big black bears on their back legs, just smacking each other.
Oh yeah,
dude, that is nuts.
They beat the hell out of each other.
Like, if that was to hit one of us in that full power, it would break our back.
Yeah.
Like, people aren't aware. Like, I wouldn't be worried about their bite. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of pressure. Dude, if one of those smack you, like, you're gone. Like, it knock your noggin off your shoulders.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine. And another thing people don't realize is, like, bear don't have sharp teeth. It's their pressure they put.
The bite pressure.
The bite pressure is unreal. Like, they're crushing bones when they bite you. Like, it's not puncture, like slicing through you. It's the pressure is pushing on you, and that pierces your skin and goes through your clothing. It's not the slicing of the teeth. It's the bite pressure it puts on you. I mean, I wouldn't want to mess with any kind of bear. I mean, not even 100-pound bear I wouldn't want to mess with. Like,
no, I'd still probably try and fight it. At least give it a running shot.
I mean, if you had a choice between running or getting away from bear or fighting it, what are you going to do?
I'm going to fight it. I'm too fat to run.
Okay. Fair enough. So you grew up white. You shot some pretty nice buck over the years.
Yeah.
What's a big? You shot that huge one out of the Hanover watershed.
Yeah, I think he was 21 or 22 inches inside spread.
You ever get him scored?
Nope, never have.
Scored. Yeah, That's a monster. We might have to put that one. Diego, remind me. We'll have to put that one on the video. It was a monster. It was a monster. On the Hanover watershed on Maryland side. Yep. I tell people all the time, if you don't have a place to hunt, that is such a great place to hunt.
Yeah, and it's a challenge even to get the permit to call in, because you got to call in. I mean, if you want to hunt the following Saturday, you got to call in the Friday morning the week before.
Yeah, so like last time I did it, you had a week. So
I think it's 6 or 7 days
a week. Yeah. You can schedule 1 day a week ahead of time, and then every other day you have to call that day and see if anyone that morning, that night before, something like that. I forget what it is, but you can schedule at least 1 day a week ahead of time to hunt it, and it's a great place. You got to apply for it, and if you get a permit.
I think it's 10 people a day in archery and like 8 in rifle.
I don't know. And it's actually a pretty big area for how many people let in there. Like, you don't really run into anyone. And there's tons and tons of different habitat to hunt. There's large, pines. There's some hardwoods. There's
swamp bottoms.
Yeah. There's thick fields. There's watering holes. There's creeks. You really find a little bit of everything hunt there. It's very well managed. Maryland did a great job on that.
And now it's a little butch since they did the logging the last couple years.
I haven't been down there. I haven't been down there.
Now they didn't clear cut it, but they did select logging, and it's just like hunting timber cuts upstate.
Yeah.
Give it a couple years to kind of kick back on its feet, and it'll be back the way it was.
Yeah, and plus that new growth, they'll be in there eating all that kind of new growth. They'll love that new growth. That new growth would be great for them to feed on, stuff like that. But yeah, it's very well managed. So the biggest thing is you got to apply for it, and when you apply for it, you got to which you'll get all the rules and everything like that when you apply for it. Once you apply for it, you got to call ahead of time to get a place to hunt, because only let so many people in, which is great because it's not overcrowded. It's a very large place to hunt, and there's tons of deer there. I mean, I used to go with my grandpa. My grandpa couldn't walk that far. I think we walked over maybe 100 yards off the parking lot, and we still shot deer.
Yeah, there was a guy. Well, if you park on I always called it the Garvix parking lot. To be honest, can't think of the name of that road.
Is that the one, and then the northern right side of it, or the one down in it more?
No, Garrett Road or the Pumpkin Farm is Garrett Road.
Yeah, that's what I used to park on.
Garvix is the one at the top of the hill when you come down Tollgate and across the bridge.
Yep, I know that now. Yep.
There was a guy there for I think 4 or 5 years. He had a stand. There was always a deer trail, like 150, 200 yards. It ran right across the fire trail. Guy would put a ladder stand there every year. Every year he'd shoot a buck.
Yeah, because like I say this all the time. Deer or animals in general are just like people. They ain't gonna walk through the thickest and most miserable stuff. They're gonna use the trails that are there that either people make or they make.
Yeah,
like those deer are using those fire lanes just like people would. It's just the way they are, and it's why in the wild it's all about exerting energy, not exerting energy, and surviving. So the less energy you use, the more energy you have to consume. So that's the way survival is. And so those deer a lot of times use those fire lanes and pre-cut paths already. And that's what we did. We literally sat along where 2 fire lanes came together, and there's a large water hole. Like, not sure if it was a spring there or it was just a wet year. I can't remember what it was. But there's some water there, and there's tracks all over it. So we sat probably about 50 yards off of that, and we saw deer walk out there all the time.
I know that if you go in the bottom side where you're talking about, it always lays wet down in the bottom.
And then there was always like real thick fields too.
Yeah.
So like it was just very well managed. Like two shades in Maryland, because usually any other like two shade in Maryland because the state sucks already, but has good hunting and fishing down there.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that the state is so backwards with its.
Till you go down to the Blackwater to hunt Sika deer, and then that's just like Game Land's 249 on the opening day rifle.
That's some crazy down there. That
mosquitoes the size of possums.
They will carry you away. You need about what?
The guys I've talked to, they said they run 4 thermocells at a time, and it helps, but it doesn't.
It's the mosquitoes down there are just well. That's where the Sika deer are though. And those swamps and that nasty stuff, they stink.
That frag grass.
Oh, God. They get that mucky water and stir it all up in that black dirty water, and they stink, and their whole legs get stained by it and stuff like that.
Yeah, it smells like what I suck out of the tanks at work.
Literally, yeah, that's what it is. And even the whitetail that get used to that swamp, you start seeing them get real dark legs and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, they get the dark legs. They start getting a rusty belly.
Yeah, but you don't usually see that too much because Sika deer usually run the whitetail out, which is crazy. It's crazy to see these little like
110 pounds is a big one.
And usually a lot of times on one side of the road you have whitetail, on the other side of the road you have Sika deer because these miniature elk are just so aggressive.
Oh yeah.
It's just nuts. They're so aggressive. A guy came to work today. He had a picture as he has a place down in Maryland. He hunts. He had a feeder. He had 30 sick deer underneath the feeder.
Mm-hmm.
30 of those damn things sitting there. Like, you know how much money you can make right there? People want to hunt something like that.
Oh yeah, it's like I'm sure. What's it? I think it's Muddy Bottom Outfitters and like Muddy Marsh are the ones that are down in the shore in like Dorchester and Wacomico.
Yeah.
I think I forget what they charge, but I know them guys make
like
a
$1,200.
killing.
Like $1,200, and like it's like $1,200, and you're not guaranteed anything.
No,
it's Mother Nature. They say can't guarantee you anything, so you spend $200 and
you might shoot one, you might not.
Yeah, and man, you hear some of the horror stories of the sick deer in that area. They're so nocturnal.
Yeah,
they don't only come out at nighttime and stuff like that. And it's hard to get on into a pattern where they come out during the day. But they're cool. I heard I had to go down there one time just to experience to see them and like hear them bugle. I think it's really cool to hear them bugle at nighttime.
I heard it's the bugle and the growl that they make.
Yeah.
The growl they said is I've never heard one, but they said the growl is what gets you like real early in the morning setting up. Growling. You'll hear one growl in the frag and scares the hell out of you.
And they live to be pretty old, like 16 years old.
I think so.
That's average. It's not like the oldest. It's not like the oldest deer. But like whitetails might live half that age.
6.
Yeah.
I've seen 10, 12-year-old deer.
Yeah. Like
a friend of mine, his dad has a hunting buddy. He hunts land in Maine every year, and it's been probably 10 years ago now. He shot a deer. I mean, monster. Mm-hmm. Monster northern Maine deer. I think it came from huge. Around Jackman. And he said, yeah, deer, they aged him at like 10 or 12 years old, not a tooth left in that deer's mouth.
That's a problem. They get so old, their teeth actually wear out, and they starve to death.
Yeah.
That's what happens. They usually starve to death. But these sicker deer, they live to be like 16 years old. And for, 6 years old when they grow their first?
I think.
I think it's 6 years old when they grow their first horn. So compared to whitetail, a big stag deer is a 6 point. You rarely ever see a sick deer with more than 6 points, 3 on each side. When you're whitetail, you see like your 12, your 13s, like that. You can get some really weird ones that that have 20 points on them, stuff like that. But for a sick deer, a huge sick deer is only 3 points on each side, and it takes to like 6 years old to get 1 point on each side when you see one little horn come up. So that just shows how old they get until they actually get able to shoot them.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty cool. I heard they're delicious. I never had one myself.
It is good. Sick deer is good.
But I ain't gonna pay $200 for Maryland tax stamp to go down there. That's big. You want to talk about money scam? I talk about this all.
It went from $40 for non-resident, I think it was,
like
and
50.
then the following year it was $200.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
You want to talk about a money scam? Right there it was. And Floofy Baits, first person type Floofy Baits in the chat gets 4 packs of Floofy Baits. Who's gonna be this time? Actually, fishing right now is pretty good.
Trout season opened in West Virginia today. Yep. Their season opened already.
What?
Yep. They stock really good there. They're not like stingy like PA is with trout.
When's it end?
Oh, not until like May or June. And they stock, I think it's every week or every other week.
So it ends it ends real early then.
Yeah, but I think it goes out for like a couple months and then comes back in.
So they probably shut it down for the warm months.
Yeah, I think it's the warm months it goes out and then it comes back. We'll have to mail them.
Or we're going to New York to shoot that moose.
Yeah, we'll go shoot the moose. We'll go fish the Salmon River on the way
we're going
up.
To shoot that moose. You're going to take care of that moose. But
there ain't no road hunting and throwing that in the back of the truck.
There is no way of concealing that thing. I had a couple buddies. It's fine. Yeah. Where'd her comment go?
She deleted it.
Oh. But she didn't know. All right.
Oh, there it is.
Where'd your mom's comment go?
I don't know.
No, it's back.
No? All right, we'll have to get back to her.
Oh, there it is. Oh, Fluffy. Look, there's Fluffy. I did the same thing.
Oh, all right. So, what was I going to say before that? Oh, I had something on my mind. I had something on my mind. I was going to say something. Oh, Wait, nope, lost again. We're talking about trout fishing in this. So I'm guessing Virginia, they don't want you fishing for trout during the hot months.
Yeah, it kind of slows down there. And like I like to go down and fish what they call the gold rush.
Yeah, the gold rush. I hear that. I hear about that so many times. The gold rush. I hear about that
And
all the time.
They're not kidding. Like, I mean, I know PA's stingy with the orange, the bananas, as everyone calls them.
Yeah.
You'll see one every 8 miles a stream.
And people target. They'll sit there for hours.
They'll sit there for hours
Yes.
for one fish.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then you go, hell, you drive an hour down to Shepherdstown, Harper's Ferry area, and you go to the one creek, and they're everywhere.
I never did much.
Looks like a goldfish tank.
I never did much down there, and in the whole West Virginia area, or even Virginia. I never really did much outdoorsing down there.
That's my pap. He belonged to a hunting club in Virginia, and I've gone down there with him before, and he hunted the same knob for, I think he went 55 or 56 years down there, and shot just as many deer out of the same tree stand. Never shot a handful of them with a rifle, but most of them was all an 870 Wingmaster and double aught buckshot.
That's there because up here you can't even use buckshot,
which I don't get, but
I'm not sure what they're. Can you use buckshot in Maryland?
certain counties.
Certain counties you can. I wonder if reason is behind, because you can't use buckshot for even You have to use number 4 buckshot for like predators.
Yeah, you can't use larger number 4
you
buck.
can't use BB or anything like that. I wonder what the reasoning is behind that. Like why? Wonder what the reasoning is behind that is. St. Lawrence River, best fishing ever. Yeah, that St. Lawrence River, that's a crazy place to fish. The smallmouth up there are just gigantic. They're freaky up there. They're just huge. The smallmouth up there are just huge.
Yeah.
It's just, they're just nuts. And I can't remember what to say. It's going to drive me crazy. It was a great thing. It wasn't about trout, I don't think. I can't remember what it was now. Maybe it was about trout. I don't remember. But we were at the hour mark, pretty much. So this is the final episode of Season 1. When we come back for Season 2, you will not recognize what's going on behind us. You'll be immersed into the podcast. You'll feel like you're in a cabin or right with us. I don't know. It's big changes coming. Don't miss it. Don't have a date yet. But Season 2, Episode 1, coming next. Coming your way. See ya.